My name is Brennan Gerhardt. I am the Executive Director of Humanities North Dakota, and our program is the Game Changer Ideas Festival. The Game Changer Ideas Festival is an opportunity for us to explore an issue that's changing the face of our world really rapidly, and we try to bring some of the most innovative thinkers in the world to North Dakota to talk about their ideas for managing that change in ways to lead to a more hopeful and better future for all of us. And we chose the topic injustice. Rethinking America's criminal justice system. And we're really looking at the headlines of all the police shootings that were happening, and this was also in the wake of the DAPL protests that had happened in North Dakota, which pitted the police officers against protesters. What we did that I think was innovative this year was we sat down with the police. So I went to Chief Dan Donlin, who had been in an officer-involved shooting himself, and I said, we want to talk about this issue. It's really critical, it's facing our community, but we can't do that without having you at the table. We're not going to talk about the work that you're doing without you feeling represented in that. And I expected him to say, no, that's super uncomfortable, especially right now, and he didn't. I said, that's a really important issue. We need to talk about that, and thank you for letting us be represented in that process. And so he's been on our advisory committee. We had over 200 police officers and their spouses in the audience. We've never had that at any of our events before. And this really taught me a lot about when we look at underserved demographics, police officers, teachers, firefighters, those people that are leading in our community can live out our humanities mission are often people that we're not serving because we're not inviting them to the table. We also had cultural competency training for police officers, how to police diverse communities. And one police officer came up to me and said, I'm so excited about this training. We never get to talk about this stuff. It's all technical, how to handcuff people, what are new policies, but this is the important stuff. This is the stuff we need to talk about. I'm so excited to have this opportunity to do that. And that just was so eye-opening to me that I need to do a better job of reaching out to people and inviting them to the table. One unique thing we did, we had Jinho Ferreira come in, and he was a rapper with Flipside. He toured with Snoop Dogg. He also has a Black Studies degree, and he was at a protest of the police shooting of an unarmed Black man. And that's when he decided to become a police officer, paid his way through the academy, and was hired as a sheriff's deputy. And that also changed him. So he was able to look at the issue from both sides, being a police officer, but also being a member of the Black community and worrying about his kids and their safety. And he said to him, police officers are just stormtroopers who would come into the community, and they weren't part of the community. And he wanted to change that. He wanted to be part of the community that he was policing. But he also recognized that it's really difficult being a police officer in this day and age, and we need to look at that with all the stresses that are on them. So he really could look at it critically from both sides. He would criticize each side of that issue, but also bridge that and had ideas for bringing them together, both sides, that will lead to justice for our communities. So I was really excited that we were able to do that. And he wrote a one-man play about the police shooting of an unarmed Black man by a Black police officer. There's 19 different characters. He performed that play. And what I loved about the play was that everyone in the audience could relate to one character in that play because they were so different. It was how they all viewed this shooting and just how they weren't coming together in conversation, that breakdown of conversation, whether they were from the press, whether they're from a church community, whether they're from a peace officer community, whether they're from a Black community. So it was really powerful to see that portrayed and have a sit-down discussion with him about why he wrote this, what this meant to him. But I just think making that, using art in that way really drew people in a way. If we just said, we're going to have this conversation about police officer shootings, I don't think people would have showed up. And having him be a police officer, the police officers showed up because they felt represented. But he could also speak of that as being a member of a minority community, which I think was really powerful. So having that perform in North Dakota, I think was just really special. And the police officers have an annual conference, and they invited him to come back because I think he just had an impact, and they wanted more officers to experience his training and just to get to witness that play and have that discussion with him.